Mr. HNIC, man, sit down. Mr. HNIC, sit down real quick as we wind up this episode, man. We got to hear about, Prodigy Pops giving him a gun. How old was your father when he gave you a gun?
How old was my pops?
No, when he gave you a gun.
Oh, shit. How old was I?
Yeah.
Like 7, something like that. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
Hey,
you know Noah?
Yeah,
it's Rob. Yeah.
Headphones behind you, homie.
Hell yeah.
But, we were just talking about, like, parenting and, just winding down this episode. But even with Prodigy, Prodigy, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
When Pop showed you a gun, at what age was that?
I mean, he was showing me guns all my life. But around that age, he was trying to scare my uncle. Because my uncle did some bitch-ass nigga shit. So he was like, yo, watch this shit. He was like, yo. Hey, we went to my uncle's crib. We in the basement. He's shooting at a fucking garbage can. And he's showing me how to do it. But he just did it to scare my uncle, like, you know what I'm saying?
And how old were you?
I was like 7.
Man, 7 years old. Yo, you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, I have a daughter. She's 18.
Yeah. When you first had her, you were touring or,
When I first had my daughter, it was 1999. So, yeah, we was touring heavy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you look at it now from when you had her to now, being in her life, well, that's a job, meaning if you weren't with the mom.
Yeah.
And especially touring, that's another thing too, Kaz, as you embark on your career, and think about how long Prodigy, has toured, you know what I'm saying? Like, and being away from your kids, that took a toll on you, your relationship with her?
With my daughter? Yeah, definitely. But, you know what I'm saying? We make up for it. We make up for it by doing a lot of things together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go to great adventures and go out to eat and cook together in the crib, or we do a lot of things together. And a lot of times she'll come with me to the studio or come with me to the shows, like, you know what I'm saying, that I have that's local that she can get to. Or sometimes she even come overseas with me.
Really?
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I do what I can, but, a lot of times she just can't come everywhere I go. You know what I mean?
I could attest to that. Me and P just did an interview at the Illuminati joint, and his daughter came through. I met his daughter.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wait, when you say Illuminati joint, what you talking about?
You gotta check that out on Genius. Like, I'm gonna do this plug.
Okay.
A little Illuminati ball house, right?
Yeah, up in Connecticut
dope.
and shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, as we wind this down, this episode, what I wanted to do was have fathers really just express their love, and that was done. The gratitude was done, and just how much people care about their kids, and think about it, like, when we spoke in the beginning of this episode, we spoke about how our parents may have not shown the most love. Like, even Prodigy, I'll ask you that question. Did your pop, show you a lot of love growing up? Like, meaning, like, did he really, like, hug you or tell you he loved you like that?
Yeah, but it was more, like, just like rough father shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my pops wasn't around too much. Like, he was locked up for most of the time. You know what I'm saying? That I know him. Like, but when the times when he was around, it was real, like, discipline. But he would show me love too, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to do some parting words, and I want everyone to, like, if they could give some advice to some, fathers out there, or, or up-and-coming fathers, or just fathers that are going through the struggle. Rob, if you have any advice for any fathers out there listening.
It's just, you're going to make mistakes, man. Like, it was like what we were saying earlier, there's no manual to it. So, there's no such thing as the perfect parent. Like, I love my dad to death. And I strive to be like him, but there were some things I wish that he showed me that I could unsee. You know what I'm saying? But the consistency is what matters. It's like, don't make a mistake and run from it. Like, you got to constantly be in your kid's life and constantly try to be a positive, role model for them. But, you're going to make mistakes, but it ain't no reason to back down. Like, man?
Noah?
I don't know. I feel like with the 2-year-old, I don't have all that much advice. I'm still hanging on by my knuckles here. But no, I all I can say is that it is all of the corny things that people tell you about parenthood. All of it is true. It is like a joy that's not like anything else, any other part of your life. And and it is unmatched when you hold your child and you interact with them. There's nothing more gratifying than that. It puts work and relationships and everything else in its place.
Yeah, I remember when you just were having your kid, and I reached out to you and I was telling you, that feeling's going to be the best feeling in the world you're ever going to have. And I remember when you experienced, you then said, yeah, it was.
It's crazy.
You think about it. I think about even like both of my kids. Like when that shit happened, like it's always funny, Kaz. I think about when you talk about being a gangster dad. I think about it like growing up in Brooklyn. Like I hung around with some guys that were like stone cold motherfuckers, and they were like laying, like my daughter, they were laying on the floor rolling with her, saying "goo goo 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 ga ga." I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker. Like I never seen him act like that ever. But kids will do that to you, man. Kids will change your life, man, and kids will give you a meaning. Like I'll be honest with you, there's days where being away and messing up a lot and just feeling depressed about life, kids will give you a reason, man. Give you a reason to live, give you some fire in your eyes. What about you, Aaron? Any parting words for fathers?
Just love your kids. Make sure they know whether they in the house with you or whether they live in another house. Make sure you love your kids, and so that they don't have to look for that anywhere else. Whether it's girls with men, boys with gangs and shit like that. Like just love your kids so they don't gotta search for that love anyplace else.
Amen.
That's it.
What about you, P?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You're gonna go through struggles raising kids, man. So my son is 21, my daughter's 18. You know what I mean? So me and my son be about to fight a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just gotta learn to calm down and talk to him, and you know what I'm saying, try to guide him the right way. It's tough, man. This is not a joke.
Yeah,
it's tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because my son want to do all kind of wild shit. Like when I was young, like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta try to like tell him like, yo, nah, you ain't growing up the same way as me. Like you gotta make better choices than me, and it's a struggle. Doing that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. It's funny you mentioned that because growing up, I thought I had a set way of how to be a parent with my daughter, and I've learned that it's continuously evolving. Like I would tell her something, and you ain't doing that, and then I hit a brick wall. I'm like, oh shit. And what I learned too is not to judge her so much no more. Like meaning, like my daughter used to come up and she'd be like, "Hey, I think I want to join volleyball." And just being this humorous guy, I'd be like, "Oh, now you want to join volleyball? You're worried about your nails and stuff like that. They're gonna break and stuff." Right. So I learned to stop doing that and just be like, "Okay, I'll sign you up."
Right.
Like go with the flow with them. Right. You know what I mean? Instead of like judging them, like, "Oh, you were never doing this before, or you didn't want to do that." And I tried to tell you this for 5 years. I learned to stop that because you eventually hit a brick wall, and the way of communicating with kids it changes, evolves, as we get older, but that's important.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the girls, raising the girls, like a father raising a girl, it's like you gotta have a lot of patience, and you can't have them scared to talk to you.
Sure.
I don't want my daughter to be afraid to tell me anything, talk to me about anything, like, you know what I mean? So that's one of the main things that I focus on, making sure that she's not afraid to talk to me about whatever it is. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. What about you, Cass?
Me, I just think you can't let nobody, nothing, something, anything stop you from being a father. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me they could have the rapper, you know what I'm saying? They could have the gangster, they could have the robber, the drug dealer, but they can't have the father. You know what I'm saying? You could give everybody everything, just don't give them the father. Give your kids the father. I don't understand. I don't know if you understand that, but I had to think it over, and I used to make a lot of excuses, like, dang, I can't do this. I got to do this. Like, I got to chase money. So we kind of fucked that package up. This father time, this Father Day, this Family Day, they can't have that. You gotta. Nah, I ain't doing that today. I gotta be with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Don't cheat your kids on a father just because the money is there. Like, just like you said, there's little times, like even recently, like little things be so priceless to me, and I just be looking like, dang, I'm lucky I ain't go outside today. Lucky I ain't take that booking. Memorial weekend, I could have went to Miami. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just chill with the kids, and I had fun. So don't let nobody take that father away. You know what I'm saying? Don't cheat your kids out of having a father. Because like you said, you could be there and you still ain't no father.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You could be up on your phone for an hour or two, and your kid right there. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. So just don't let nothing stop you from being a father. That's it. I don't care about no baby mothers. I don't care about you don't like her boyfriend or that don't got nothing to do with the kids.
Sure.
Keep the kids in one place and keep your feelings in another.
Don't let that go over your head.
Don't let that go over your head.
No, that's true. Yeah, I always say that too. Like, when my daughter, when we just separated, her mother had hit me and was like, "Hey, I need you to watch our daughter." It was Tuesday night. She's like, and she literally told me, like, we just like a month, like, got divorced, like, and she was like, "Yo, I'm going out," and I was like. So I was like, wait, this is my mindset. I was like, wait, you want me to watch my daughter while you go get fucked?
That's me.
That was my exact mindset. I was like, fuck you, and I hung up on her. 5 minutes later, I realized, like, yo, who gives a fuck what she does? Like, we ain't together no more. You know who suffers from that? My kid. So I was like, yo, I'll be there. I'll be there half hour early.
That hurt. Yeah, you gotta deal with it.
I'm saying that's why I tell people because I tell people, look, you want to get divorced. You want to get separated. You want to be a single dad. But there's things that come with that. You got to learn to like. I meet the boyfriend. I'm like, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I let him know I'm in her life. The thing is, you got to accept that. That's your worries about your kid.
That's another thing. Also, people don't understand that. Like, when you break up, that does something to the kids.
Sure.
So, like you said, sometimes you don't even know what you signing up for leaving that thing in this girl, man. You better protection, like you said, your pops taught you, because you don't do nothing to yourself. We move on. And sometimes we move on without the kids. You know what? You want to play around, I'm out on everybody. Yeah. I remember I said that before. I was in jail and this is before I did my bid. I told a girl, I said, listen, you cheat on me, I'm out on everybody. You don't send that package, I'm out. Just forget me. Tell my daughter forget me, I'm good. Then you come home and then you see your daughter and you're like, man, I'm sorry, man, I ain't gonna say that.
Hey, listen, it's an evolving thing, and I'll tell you, I'm very glad we did this episode. I always push presence over presence, and the reason why I push that for is because I feel like your presence will always be more important than any gift you could ever give your kid, and it's like. Even like I think of times where like even Little Boozy recognizing me in combat years ago, sat down with Little Boozy and he was like, yo, I was like, when you were away, he's like, yo, when I was away, my kids had everything. They had an iPad, they had this. I was like, yeah, but they didn't have you. And even he was like, shit, you're right. He understood what it was. And I just think that we come from a new generation of really caring for our kids and growing up soldiers and growing up people who could be young entrepreneurs or doctors or whatever they want to be. And really think about it. A lot of our parents probably like, yo, you go get a 9-to-5, work there for 30 years, get your pension and retire and die. But now I think like, we're more supportive of people. Like even how Rob, like you brought up like telling your kids, all right, you want to watch YouTube, then learn how to do this. You want to play games, learn how to make a game. I think it's important. And, I really thank everybody for just being here to really make this episode happen and really just hopefully inspire, up-and-coming parents or just parents that are going through the struggle. So, I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here today. Most definitely.
Word.
So listen, like happy Father's Day. This Sunday is happy Father's Day, so enjoy your day.
Y'all women, make sure y'all ready for us. We want gifts.
Yep.
We want to get taken out.
Shrimp and grits.
Yeah, we want a massage.
Yep.
You hear that, right?
Yeah. But listen, Father's Day is every day, and like I said, these gentlemen here with me today definitely express that. So but internets, listen, another episode. Make sure you subscribe, rate, comment, tell a friend. And man, I'm happy this went down because this is something near and dear in my heart, parenting and just the struggles that we went through. So I really appreciate this. See you next episode. Cheers.